That you gobble more hot dogs than a Japanese competitive eater? That you've ridden more bears than a bike in a Russian circus?
Hey, good to see you.
Hey, good to see you too.
Wow, Leslie Jordan, as I live and breathe. I didn't know that they served a kids menu here.
Oh, well, Kristin Dos Santos. I wasn't sure if it was you or if there was a solar eclipse.
Well,
Let's stop the bickering and just talk about Will and Grace.
All right, let's do it. We'll keep it short.
I've heard them
Sorry,
all. I've heard them all.
Let's start the show, shall we? Welcome back to the Will and Grace after party. I am sitting here with the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Leslie Jordan. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, we had a pretty big reveal in this episode that I think nobody saw coming. Did anybody see this coming? Beverly Leslie's gay? He likes ding-dongs more than ho-hos? What is going on?
Seems to be more timely even now. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like back then, 10 years ago, to have this guy that was a very, conservative and had this older wife, but keeps saying he's not gay, and you're like, oh, please. Please. Will and Grace has its own kind of little wonderful world, where it's you. And I knew from day one when I got on the show that you have to play this for real. You know what I mean? Because some of the situations is something that are so larger than life, but you've got those four that know how to play for real.
Right. What's your dynamic like with Megan Mullally in real life? And how do you warm up for those scenes? Because you just tear at each other.
You know what? We don't do a thing.
You don't.
That's
you just
what I love.
save it for the camera?
We always do that. We rarely even run lines. When I very first got on the show, I don't watch a lot of television myself, and people were saying to me, Leslie, you may have met your match. This Megan Mullally is really good. And I remember thinking, yeah, well, she ain't no Leslie Jordan. And sometimes during rehearsal, during the week, she doesn't always use that voice. And so during the rehearsal period, I remember thinking, funny. No, Leslie Jordan. So then we got in front of that audience very first time. And I said, well, got this huge laugh. And then it was just like a tsunami hit me.
Yes.
And I remember I looked at her, and it was just like, it's on. Bam, bam, bam. And I've never
so
really
much
met
fun
an
to watch.
actress like that can match me. No, I'm teasing.
Now, I'm curious to know about, we know in the original series, the way that it ended, you actually blew off a balcony, right? Which was so ridiculous and so great. Are you happy that that was undone? That he blew right back in?
Sort of happy that it was undone. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about all this, but before they had decided, conceptually, to bring a show back like this.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've had that ending. I died. You can't bring me back. I died. And Max Mutchnick, who's the most hilarious person on this planet, said, you're going to come back as his evil twin or something.
Which would have been great, too, by the way.
Leslie.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it got where they just wanted to just pick up. Why do we have to deal with all that? Let's just pick up where we left off.
How much are we going to see you? Do you know? Are we going to see you back again soon on the show? Okay, yes. That makes us happy. I do want to, before we wrap up, just ask you about, what the show has meant to you personally, and also just, feedback you've gotten from the gay community. It has been such a groundbreaking show in so many ways in its initial run, and now again, really tackling a lot of weighty issues head on. How does it feel to be a part of that?
I've always thought that there were 2 or 3 ways that you could combat homophobia. One is through humor. I learned that during dodgeball. 7th grade.
Oh, I want to play dodgeball
They're
with
like,
you.
Smear the queer. I learned to be funny.
Yeah.
So through humor and through putting a face on it. And I think America welcomed, these characters, probably many of them the first gay people into their homes, and we laughed and we loved. And I really do think when it's all said and done, and I think the tide turned.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
Around the time of Will and Grace, and we were a big part of that.
Absolutely. Cheers to that, my friend.
Right.
Cheers to you. Can you give us one final well?
Well.
Oh, so good. It's all coming together, my friend. Thank you. All right, now, well, you take hundreds of selfies. I think everybody here wants one, including me. Check out this digital exclusive we have for you guys, a sneak peek for the fans. Check it out.
Sing something for me.
Oh, I don't know that this is the place to...
You sing!
Because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'm happy, clap
Now
along
add
if
some
you
moves.
feel
Do the
like
electric
that's
slide.
what you want to do. Because I'm happy, clap
Here
along.
he's on down the road.
What?
He's on down the road!
I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's
Here's the thriller.
Oh, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Because I'm happy, clap along.
Let's talk about this week's show. So we saw Jack almost becoming a thousandaire. Dare we dream? And we saw Will, of course, turning down what he thought was his dream job. And the return of my favorite moment, Beverly Leslie. So Sonia, my dear, not awkward at all, but what did you think of Beverly Leslie's return?
Well, Miss Tennessee, you're back. Welcome home. Welcome home. Good to see you.
You got a great response from this room, I have to say. Yes. But you knew you were going to get that.
I got a big response from the audience that night. I wasn't expecting that.
Now, did they know that you were coming out?
I don't think so.
And coming out?
Well, they kept me hidden back in the back.
Okay.
And I was carried in.
So another big thing that happened in this episode, Will and Grace working together. Callan, what did you think? Were you surprised?
So surprised,
Yeah.
honestly. Will and Grace only worked it well together when they're playing games.
Right.
Aside from that, they're completely different personalities.
They already have their little like bump, cheer, victory
Yeah.
dance. So
Yeah.
maybe that'll come into play in the office somehow.
I certainly hope so.
So another thing we saw in this episode was Carefree Will. What is happening? I don't even know my Will anymore. What did you, Eric, think of Will sort of letting loose and doing this 180 on his career? Do you like him that way?
It's terrifying. Really, I mean, that's not the Will we know. He
Right.
doesn't do that.
Okay, in honor of last week's episode, we asked you, if you had a sleepaway camp, what would it be called? Now, we had a pretty fun answer from Will and Grace fan, Maddie. She said, Camp Let's Be Honest, dedicated to teaching young lesbians the wonders of flannels, cats, Kate McKinnon, and the Indigo Girls. I'm in. Who's in? Yeah, I'm there. This week we want to know what your all-time favorite Karen Walker line is, so let us know by using the hashtag #AskWillAndGrace. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you to Leslie Jordan for being here. We will see you next week for our big finale where you just might see someone special. Bye. Thank you.